4, 3, 2, 1.
Champions! Wrexham are promoted. They have their storybook ending.
You can walk through the fire. You can walk through the fire. When it's down to the wire. You can walk through the fire.
What is up, everybody? It has been, gosh, I think it's been 4 weeks since I did an episode. Obviously, there's no one else to blame but me. I'm the only one making this show. So, apologies. I've been, unendingly busy. Also, last weekend, I was planning on having a show, but then I got food poisoning. So I was puking my guts out all day Sunday last week. So, that was unfortunate. A couple weeks prior to that, it was I was up here in Montana working on the house, which is always exhausting. We never exactly know what our schedule is going to be while we're up here. So it's not always a done deal that I'm going to be able to do a show when we're up here. But hey, I'm here today doing a show and happy to be back. Y'all, I can't believe this, but 4 days and 17 hours until the season starts again. Play Wycombe Wanderers this coming Saturday. I mean, that really snuck up on me. I had completely forgotten what month it was. This summer, this whole year has been flying by. So it's a happy surprise that I opened up the website today and saw that we're playing in 5 days. Does that make me a terrible Wrexham fan? Maybe. It definitely makes me very uninformed and very embarrassed. So that's my bad. I'm definitely not during the summer, during the off season, I just have so much stuff going on that when there aren't games being played, I'm not as into it. Like, I like watching the matches. There's only so much I can talk about all summer, which is why I'm doing the reviews of all the episodes over the summer. Wish I had gotten them all in, but that's okay. I'm not as analytical with like signings and who we're gonna play against this year. Like, I don't have as much knowledge in that arena. Hoping once we move up here to Montana and life slows down a little bit, I will have far more time to do research and look into all this and have regularly scheduled shows. That's just not where we are right now. So bear with me and apologies. But you can go watch this on Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, and PeacefulSea.network. Just go to www.peacefulsea.network to watch it on my company's website. We also have some documentaries on there, some other shows. We're going to be launching the Dollar Media Club, which will be $1 a month. Gets you access to all of our stuff, whatever movies come out, whatever documentaries come out, whatever shows we do, whatever bonus episodes we have, you'll be able to watch it all through the website. So go over there to peacefulsea.network to check that out. And what else? This is the first time maybe ever on this show that I've done a show without my headphones on. I kind of feel a little naked. It's weird. So if the sound is a little off, that's my bad. And if you hear a little dripping in the background, it's because we're filling up a water tank in the other room, a 1,500-gallon water tank. So there's a lot of water being deposited right now. All right, y'all. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be talking Wrexham again. It's been a month since I've been able to do this, and I'm very excited. So, like I said, Wrexham versus Wycombe Wanderers this Saturday. I cannot wait. I am stoked. can't wait to get up super early and watch this dadgum game because I'm out here in mountain time. So it's a ways out. It'll be very early. Let's talk about some contract news because I mean it's not news for any of y'all, but it's news. It was news for me because I have not been keeping up at all with our off season. Love that we signed George Evans. No brainer. Love George Evans. Happy that happened. And yeah, this was from a month ago, 1 month and 5 days ago. So yeah, old news for everybody out there. Signed a new guy, Lewis Brunt. Watched a few interviews with him before this show. I know he's a defender from Leicester City. He did a short stint in the Premier League. It sounds like he only played a couple games. And then he played for our rival, Lewis Brunt. I mean, it's not our rival, Mansfield last year. So interesting seeing two teams go up and one guy come over from that other team. Or I guess 4 teams went up, but 2 of the teams just swapped players. So that was interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about any of these signings. So Lewis, new defender. I thought we were pretty good at defender, but we got Cleworth, we got Mendy, we got a whole bunch of awesome talent back there. So Lewis Brunt, hopefully we'll see what he can do. I got to go watch some game tape on him. Who is next? I mean, speaking of, Max Cleworth signs 3-year deal. Friggin' perfect. Can't complain. That was always going to happen. Dude's a superstar. Next up is George Dobson. Watched his interview from Wrexham when he signed. Seems like a great dude. Seems like a really good signing. Already has experience with Parkey and O'Connell, Lee, and Ollie. That's pretty fantastic. Already built some of that camaraderie. Already knows how other players that he is now playing with have played in the past. Came from a club called Charlton Athletic, which I'm sure is it Charlton or Charlton? I don't know. Midfielder. I'm happy with that. Bolster the midfield. Get some new blood in there. Happy with that. I mean, I think I got to go review our entire squad now with these new signings, but I'm excited about this guy. Did a little bit of research on him, so I'm pretty stoked about him. Who else? I mean, Tom O'Connor signed a 3-year deal. Heck yeah. Can't go wrong with Tom. And then might be most excited about Sebastian Revan from Aston Villa. This guy seems like a killer. Left back, so Mendy's position, which is not ideal because I freaking love Mendy. But he played 36 games in the championship last year, which is pretty fantastic. And did very well. Like I went back and reviewed his stats. He did well. He's only 21 years old and he signed with us. So yeah, Mendy has some competition. And that's the thing about competition. Like, yeah, I would prefer Mendy to play because I love Mendy, but might end up loving Sebastian Revan too. And competition always makes both players better. If there's 2 people competing for the same job, they're going to work their butts off in order to achieve that starting position. So it's good that we've got a little competition back there. Let's see. This is the weird one. Callum Burton. Don't really know why. I mean, we put Luke McNicholas out on loan, which I liked Luke McNicholas. Like I hope he comes back and I hope he does well. And if Okonkwo doesn't stick around past his 3-year contract, then yeah, I would love to see Luke up there. He did well in the few games that he's played for us. So I don't know what this Callum Burton signing is all about. I'm interested to see. I mean, I guess Okonkwo can get hurt. And since we sent off Luke McNicholas, that's, we need a backup. So I guess that's probably why. But Dan Scarr from Plymouth Argyle. What about this guy? Defender. I know. Defender. I don't know much about it. He's a little bit older, 29. Um, Promotion winner with Argyle in 2023. Used to play for Birmingham City and Walsall. Made 31 appearances in all competitions for EFL Championship side last season. So, I mean, seems like a good player. I mean, he's playing in the championship. So, yeah. Again, I am not the person to go to when it comes to detailed research of players, clubs, all that kind of stuff. I don't have the knowledge. I'm here more to comment on things from a very limited perspective. Okay. Sorry about that. My internet out here sometimes goes out, so you'll every now and then might get 10 seconds of me not being around. But I was saying, to me, it sounds like we have. Hopefully that translates into W's this year, some victories. Yeah, apologies. I don't know what's going on with the internet, but it should not be this bad. This is pathetic. It's very frustrating. So it is what it is. Let's go ahead and go review the latest episode of Welcome to Wrexham. Maybe it's because I had all these tabs open. I guess it's not the latest episode of Welcome to Wrexham, but the latest one that I am reviewing called Proper Trouble. This one is very much featuring James McLean. It's pretty much all about James McLean. And dude was fantastic for us last year. And everyone knew what he was about when we signed him. He's a rough and tumble, no holds barred, in your face, mouthy individual who is extremely fun to watch. I do tend to think that he can be a little too mouthy and a little too physical. And I think that the proof of the physicality is that, he had to serve the suspension after getting too many dadgum yellow cards, and then immediately got another yellow card as soon as he came back. So he's he's a good enforcer. He's good. He's a good one to have out there to make sure the other team knows that you're not messing around. He really does play with his whole heart. That was something that they mentioned in the episode. He goes all out. James McLean is a freaking Irish legend and respected by a lot, hated by a lot. And yeah, he says he's a trifle forthright, which I just thought was a great description. Was it Humphrey who said that? Now I can't remember, but either way. And yeah, he got suspended for 10 yellow cards in 32 games. He just gets so many yellow cards. It gets a little frustrating. There should be times when he shows some self-control, but then again, if he was that kind of person, he might not be what we need. So I don't know. There's always give and take with who people are and what they bring to the table. So I think he's a net positive for sure. Let's see. They define a derby in this, a derby, whatever. I don't understand y'all's pronunciations sometimes. Why is it a derby if it's spelled ER? I just don't get it. English is just the dumbest language on earth, American and British. It's just such a dumb language. It doesn't make any sense half the time. And this is just one tiny example, Derby versus Derby. We showed the Tranmere game, which shows the cops and how much they prepare for these games. That really, so on the one hand, I don't really enjoy the militarization of police, but when you have fans that will literally assault people just because of a football match, I don't know. There's definitely some security that is needed. So I just, for the life of me, cannot understand why violence has been brought into the fandom of football around the world. It's just wild how that all started and why that continues to happen. It's like once it got its toe in the door, it just stayed and wouldn't leave, despite, I mean, decades of efforts to get that out of football. So that is one unfortunate thing, and they spend a lot of time talking about the cops this time, and I just don't really care for it. We do a profile on Manny Thomas, who plays the drums at the Wrexham game, which my wife and I were always like, who is playing that dadgum drum? Like almost every single game that we hear it, we make that comment, and now we know. It's fantastic. And yeah, loved that guy. He just his whole profile was fantastic. He plays the drum extremely well. You can hear it, on the audio. And I love it. I love it. It reminds me a lot of college football games here in the United States, especially Texas A&M. We have a whole drum line. We have the Corps of Cadets that plays the Fightin' Texas Aggie marching band. If you've never seen the Fightin' Texas Aggie marching band, just Google it, or no, YouTube it. YouTube it. Fightin' Texas Aggie marching band halftime show, and you will be amazed by what they are able to accomplish with all the instruments, as well as marching at the same time in tight quarters. It is a thing of beauty. But anyway, Manny Thomas playing the drum reminds me of the atmosphere of a college American football game, and that's my favorite sport on earth. It's my favorite sport to go to, specifically Texas A&M games. But yeah, it just brings that feel to the Wrexham games, which makes me love it even more. Let's see. We lose to Tranmere. That game sucked. It was terrible. One thing that was very interesting, which I fully support. I have Irish roots. I also have British roots, but I prefer to focus on the Irish roots. James McLean got in trouble for not wearing the poppy, which supports the British Army. It's completely understandable. I mean, the Troubles happened for like 60 years, and technically speaking, might not really be over. I mean, they're over in the way that it's evolved into a different kind of situation. So, like, I understand an Irishman not wanting to support the British Army. Like, that is why that was controversial. Why people can't understand that perspective is beyond me. It, like, go do 1 hour of research on the Troubles and tell me you wouldn't tell me that what he's doing is wrong. Like, that is I wrote a full-on script about the Troubles. So I wrote a feature-length script. We made it into a short film. You can actually go watch that on www.peacefulsea.network. Made it into a short film. Like, I know the history of the Troubles. I know the history between England and Ireland, and good on James, good on McLean for standing up for what he believes in and standing up for what he thinks is right. And frankly, I agree with him. So, yeah, I don't like that he got so much hate, but if anyone was to get hate, he's the one who could handle it. So that was very interesting. Yeah, that whole storyline I found to be extremely interesting, because he also didn't acknowledge the English national anthem for a game, which people here in the States get pissed off when you don't acknowledge the U.S. national anthem or kneel during it or whatever. People just get too angry over too many things these days. We then cut to for the women's team. We get to meet all their new players. Seems like they have signed some great talent. They're third place in the league. We watched them play a couple games, and with those 2 games, with those 2 victories, it's boosted their confidence. And now a bunch of them are thinking they could win the league or be second in the league. So that's pretty dang cool. We didn't stick with them for very long. We then go back to Parkinson, talking to his family over a meal. First time we met his other son and his wife, so that was cool. They seem like they all have a really fun relationship. Yeah, they're just talking about McLean and the man, the season. Goodness gracious, how could I not remember the word season? They're saying the end of the season is approaching. Mansfield, MK Dons, Stockport are the ones, and Wrexham are the ones seeming to be in competition for promotion. And Stockport at one point during the season has won I think it's League Two tying 12 in a row, which is extremely impressive. Mansfield comes to town. A loss would likely put us behind MK Dons. And this is the one where McLean first came back after suspension. 2 minutes, 40 seconds into the game, he does a stupid tackle and gets a yellow card. I'm sorry, it was stupid. Whether or not it was a yellow card, I don't know, but it was a stupid tackle. Even though Parkey is complaining about it the whole time, it was a dumb tackle. The whole game is super heated. I mean, it's Mansfield. We're vying for promotion. They are too. So the whole game, very physical, lots of tension, lots of nerves. They captured the whole feeling of that day extremely well in the documentary. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this last section this middle section of this episode. And this is the game. This Mansfield game was the one where it solidified Max Cleworth's role in our squad. Like, we kind of knew that he was there to stay beforehand, but that pass all the way down the field, threading the needle to Andy Cannon, just a perfect pass, was such a thing of beauty that I could just see his entire career from there forward as soon as that pass went through. It's like, this kid is amazing. And I cannot wait to see what he does for us in the future. But yeah, then Cannon got up to Mullen put it in the back of the net, and that kind of accelerated us to victory because we ended up winning 2-0. Yeah, this is when we knew that Cleworth would be a superstar. And then not too long after that penalty, Bolton was taken down in the box and Mullen puts it in the back of the net. So that was such a fun game. I remember being extremely nervous before that one. And I thought the folks who captured it, the cinematographers and the directors and the editors, captured the whole feeling of the day very well. Everybody was very much on pins and needles after McLean got that first yellow card 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, because with McLean, you never know. It's very likely that he would get another yellow card and get kicked out and suspended for another game or two. So it's not out of the question that we could have gone down to 10 men during that game, but we didn't. We won and we got promoted. So it's all good. Then let's see. Ally Bank here in the U.S. Has decided to partner with Wrexham AFC, specifically for the women's squad. They're trying to promote parity, not parody, between men's and women's sports. They're trying to help with that, which, great. The more people who watch women's soccer, women's sports, the larger it's going to get, the more money they're going to make, and the closer they'll get to being as watched and make, as financially lucrative as the men's sports. So good on them. Like, keep that up. What I can't stand is the complaining about, we're not going to get into that. Too political. I'm not even going to get into that. Maybe another time. I think it's a very, very smart partnership between the two. And then the first thing they do is they surprise the women's team with a tour of the U.S. during this past offseason. So pretty friggin' sick. And yeah, all the girls very excited. Never been outside Wales, and they're excited to do so, or never played for Wrexham outside Wales, and they're excited to do so while wearing the Wrexham uniform. So that's fantastic. And we're not even going to dive into the last bit of this episode because it's Doncaster, and we lose 1-0. That game sucked, and it was interesting. Parky took his mic off at the very end, just before he went into the locker room, and so we could kind of hear him, and he just seemed defeated. We don't get many of those moments where he is not livid. He just seemed sad. So that was a weird way to end it. But yeah. Overall, I mean, I really enjoyed the episode. I love James McLean, and I love that MK Dons game, and I loved learning who the drummer was. That was by far my favorite part. Let's see. As far as a rating goes, I watched this in 2 chunks. I watched half and half. I hate this 45-minute episode thing. I want the 22-minute episodes back. I'm going to give it an 8.6. So 8.6 for Proper Trouble, Season 3, Episode 7 of Welcome to Wrexham. So yeah, there's your full review of that episode in under 30 minutes. Actually, probably in under like 20 minutes because I spent the first few minutes talking about other things. So y'all, the season starts. I just got my subscription to iFollow. Cannot wait. I ordered, my wife doesn't know this yet, but I ordered our away kit and our third kit. I do want to get the home kit as well. It's not always the best timing. And I wish they would release them all at the same time so that people over here in the States can get them and have them shipped all at once rather than paying shipping on each individual shipment. That drives me nuts. Like, I wish there was an option to just like, can you just hold it? Can you just hold that uniform, that jersey, until I order my next one? Just hold it to this date. I'm going to make another purchase. So that was really frustrating. It's like 25 extra bucks for shipping on that thing. So it is what it is. I'm just very happy to get the sick third kit and away kit. Like, both of those are incredible. I was saying this the other day to my wife and maybe my brother. The best kits ever are always the collared kits. Always. I feel better wearing them out in public with a collar. It just looks better. It looks sharper. It looks more professional. I love that we got collared kits this year. Very excited about that. We'll be wearing these all the time. And yeah. I mean, I've been ever since I realized what week it was. I've been smiling because I get to watch Wrexham. We all get to watch Wrexham play on Saturday. Very excited. All right, y'all. That'll do it for this episode. I will have an episode come out on Sunday. It'll review the next episode of the show, and it'll review our season opener versus the Wycombe Wanderers, which I'm going to say we win. We lost last year 5-3 with our opener. I think we win this year. Actually, let me bring it back up. Let me see what we got. Come on, internets. Let's see. Yeah, I think we win 2-0. 2-0 Wrexham, game 1 of the season. Y'all, let's do this. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Peace. No, up the town.
Search my soul with all your heart, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. And if you knock my soul with all your strength, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it.